So I've got a few things left to do on the bike. I've got rear red lights, LED. There's two of them, one for the helmet and then one for the bike itself. They blink, flash, or do all kinds of different stuff. And then I've also got a phone mount because everybody knows you need to have your phone. So I figure she'll need to have her phone, so we'll mount that up there too. And then we have to, I'm going to real quick pull the battery out and see what's going on with that. So stick with me and let's get to work on this bike. So as I was saying, we need to finish up the bike. And one of the things I do need to do, and if you all know how to do this, how do you ship a bike? I got to get it from Roy, Utah here to Seattle, Washington. And everything that I've looked up it's ridiculously priced. Mainly because of the box. I think one place wanted like $100 for just the box. And I'm thinking if I can get this thing small enough, I can probably get it in the U-Haul picture box. And then I'll send the battery in a separate box along with her helmet and a couple of other things that are going along with it. And that way I can just put the battery sticker on the box and I don't have to worry about the bike having all that goofy stuff on it. My concern is putting it together. So when I do take it apart to ship it, for my granddaughter, because she was my first subscriber, I'm going to have directions on how to put it back together again because, you know, that's kind of important. The only issues that I've run into so far are the adjustment of the brakes, because when I take the wheels off or the wheel off, this one's got to stay on because it has all the electrical hooked to it for the drive unit. But we'll take a look at that as we move through. The other thing I've got to do here is I need to remove this battery real quick because we don't have a key for the lock. And I was looking on the instructions, and the instructions said in here is the release for the battery or for the key lock, the lock mechanism, and we can pull it off. I think so we'll definitely pull this apart and see if we can't get in here and get that lock out of there. So let's go for that first. So let me set this battery aside for now. And I need to crawl around and take a look-see at that. Let me get down on the ground with Bully. So looking up in here, there appears to be two Phillips screws and the lock mechanism itself. So we're going to try to pull these two Phillips off, and it'll probably take this cover off and we can get to the lock mechanism. So let's go ahead and do that. So let me go grab my Craftsman and let me grab some wrenches and our Allen wrenches. Okay, let's crawl around down here on the floor. Keep our tools nearby because we're probably going to need them all eventually. So there are two Phillips screws here. Let me make sure that you guys are on. So to remove the lock mechanism, it looks like we take these two screws off. And they're very tight, naturally. There's one. Coming loose. Because we do need to replace this lock mechanism because we've got to have that for the battery safety and security. Put them right here on top of the frame horn. I'm hoping that once we get these two screws out, the whole thing comes apart pretty easily. We'll see. I looked everywhere for instructions and wasn't able to find anything anywhere that helped me at all. There's that one. Wondering if this comes up off of here. You need a pick. Yeah, I need to get a thinner one for here. She is loose now, that I can tell. I'm betting that this little mechanism, there's a little lock pin that comes down on here and it locks into this little hole right here on the battery. This almost looks like it's two pieces. So let me get a thin screwdriver and see if we can get something in there. And we can also take this rail loose here. Oop. We'll try popping it with a thin screwdriver first. Let's see, there's this. Pop out is the next question. It does. I'm not sure. I can't tell. Let's just get a screwdriver and see if it moves. Yes, it does. Okay. There she's going. It feels like you squeeze it together, so I'm betting I need to pull these out. Hey, buddy. Move the tools out of your head, shall we? But yeah, we can order, I know we can order the lock, that's not an issue at all. So that'll be nice. We'll be able to order a replacement lock for it, and that way she can lock her battery in. And be careful because there is a washer too, and we don't want to lose that washer. Number 2. And there are 3 of these Allen Allens on here, and these are 4s, so. And I can't get my little T handles down in here because of the angle, so you have to do this all with your little one. I do need to order her a T handled. So I did notice that on the back side of this there are more screws. Looks like we have one more holding the cover. This little cover here. And that gets you your access to your battery. And they are teeny tiny ones. There we go. I may have broken the cover already. Yep. Yeah, she's coming right up now. So get that last screw out of there. And there's little plastic clips that hold this thing in place. They are broken, so we may need to order a new one of those covers if we can. That's been the problem that I've seen, is I can't order anything. With that, a lock mechanism should come right out. And it does. So we can order a new one of those. Let's put our screws just back in temporarily so we don't lose anything. And that holds our cover in place. And then just put our screws in here. Finger tight, and that's just to keep them in place so we don't lose them. The last thing you want to do is lose your screws. There we go. Then I'm going to take these other 2 screws that I've got and I'm going to put them into the lock mechanism because that's what holds the lock in place, is these 2 screws here. So we'll put them here for now, and that way we know where to find them. You could also take this to a locksmith and have him rekey it, but it would probably cost more than a new one. And almost all the Hurley bikes appear to use this unit, so it makes it pretty easy to order parts. I'm imagining that if with this key code we could probably get a replacement key, but Hurley wants me to jump through all kinds of hoops to prove it's my bike before I can order anything, which I have a bill, the auction slip, but that doesn't do me any good. So alright, let's take a look-see at these other accessories. Let's get this stuff all on. That way when the lock comes, we're good to go. So our phone mount, looks like it's a few pieces, and naturally no instructions. So there's our phone mount itself. It looks like a lock. This is probably the mount that goes to the handlebars. Yes, it is. Pretty simple setup. And this fits into the ball like so. So you just undo this. That goes in the ball. The first things first, whoop, we want to put this on the handlebars. And you see how so you just loosen this up, it gets bigger. And then when you tighten it, it squishes down on it. So let's put that on the handlebars. So we don't want it over here to interfere with this, so we'll bring it over here on this side. So we're going to open up our jaws. Let's see, open up the jaws. Just squish them down. Like so. And she's tight. It looks pretty good. Then we want to get our other part, which is down here. And that mounts just like so. Loosen this way up. And it pops right on there. And then you just spin this to close it. So we're going to mount it a little bit like that. You want to tighten that down. And this opens up to put your phone in. Tighten this one up. The big nut on the back. And voila, your phone holder's in place. Yeah, this opens to let your phone, or squish your phone and unsquish your phone. And it's adjustable from here, so you widen it. And I think this is upside down. I think it needs to be like that because your bottom of your phone will sit down here. So there you go. This one comes out, and then this is a lock-in. So you just screw this out to the basic width of your phone, and then once you got it, you just lock it in place, and she's locked and doesn't move. So for now, we're going to tighten it all the way up, and then she can adjust it when she gets the bike there. Lock this. Well, it won't lock because I've got this out, but yeah. So that's our phone lock in place and done. We need to put our tail light on. So right now there's this little reflector back here. This needs to come off. sure I'm doing this. Oh, it's a Phillips. Yeah, I just grab the Phillips. You will send it with. You don't need this piece though, really. Now, it comes with 2 of the lights. Kind of nifty little units. They strap on. They don't. So you can either put them like this. They're a whole unit. Let me move it over. And they're rechargeable. So inside the box, it comes with a little charge cable. There's 2 of them in there, 1 for each light. We're just going to install 1 for now. So you look at it, you just pull this up, and we want to turn it sideways. Or no, it's just like that. So she mounts just like this. So we're going to go this way so you guys can see. So it comes around like that. And then you just catch the little rubber mount like so. You're up all the way, I would suggest. And voila, your light's on. Turn it on, you just come over here and you push this button. And you've got a steady light flashing, blinking, which is what I would suggest. If you're going to ride the bike at night, you want to do that. Then again, another one that wiggles like that, and then the final one is just off. So that's kind of in place for that. The other one I would put on the top of the helmet in the back, and that way you've got both of them. So the only thing we've got left to do with the bike is order the lock, and that'll be done. And then figure out how to ship this thing. I'm thinking that we can get it down to this far, turn the handlebars sideways, possibly take them off. The tires got to come off so it can drop down into a box, and then we'll have this particular length that we need to do to ship it. So if anybody's ever shipped a bike inexpensively, I mean, there's guys out there that ship them, but they want almost as much as you pay for the bike to ship the thing. So the only other option I'm going to have is put it in the back of the car that I'm working on for my granddaughter, and that's most of the way to Seattle. So that'd be the only other way to do it. So I'm going to take a break real quick. I'm going to go see about ordering that lock, and that way I've got that done. I'm going to go ahead and take the other light and put it up on the helmet and bring that down, and that'll pretty much do everything that we need it to do. This will go in the box, and I'll put this other light in the box with it. So she's got the old light right in there like so. So we'll have the box in there with all of her stuff, and then of course we'll ship the battery, the keys, the battery, the key, and the and her helmet separately with everything. And that's pretty much everything with the bike. We're done. We're pretty much done with the bike. Everything's adjusted. Everything's done. With the exception of the lock mechanism, we'll get that done. Once that's in place, we're done, and we can either ship it or take it to her. Visiting grandkids is always a good thing, so maybe that's what we'll do, but we'll see. So I'll take a break, and I'll be back in a minute. Pull up the old laptop and see where we can find this lock or the key. We'll search them both. Sorry you don't get to watch passwords and all that fun stuff. Okay, our lock is ordered, so once that comes in, all we have to do is reverse what we did, put it together, pack up the bike. Probably going to end up using a television box. I'll have to measure everything out here real quick, and we'll see what it'll fit in. So what we'll do, this is more for my granddaughter than anybody because she's going to have to put it together, is we'll loosen the handlebar one, we'll spin the handlebar sideways, and we'll take the front wheel off. So that'll change our distance, our heights, and everything. We can also take this off to lower our height down to the bare minimum. So with that, let me set this over here real quick. So we know that our highest point will be either here or here. So our highest point here, because she'll be leaned forward down in that box, is 37 inches. And then on this end, because the wheel will be off, we'll be at 31 inches. And then our width, you can just factor our width based on the handlebars. Going from here, it's about 10 inches. So these will get turned, and we could even remove this nut and take the handlebar out and set it in the box or tuck it in the box so that it's out of the way. So our longest point is going to be either here or here. So let's go see what a TV box, what size a TV box is, and maybe we can get this in a TV box. That'll be shipping fun. So back over to the trusty computer. Let's see, moving boxes. Because their TV box is a pretty durable box, so that's pretty much what we need, is something that's got some thickness to it. Okay, she is 36.5 by 6 by 40. The issue is we're 6 inches wide. Let me grab my tape measure. So these would fold down. Be good there. So at 40 inches, we've got plenty at 40 inches. So the only thing we would have to do is loosen the front brake, pull the front wheel off, remove or take this apart, loosen all this up, and then take the head off, drop her down in the box, and we'd be good to go. So once we get our new replacement lock, we'll stop at U-Haul this week, pick up a box to put it in, and then cross our fingers and hope that UPS doesn't kill us shipping it. But other than that, she's done. I mean, she's pretty much done. Like I said, they only got left that key, and we're good to go. We've got our backlight, we've got our headlight, we've got our helmet, we've got our battery, our phone holder. We're good to go. Totally good to go. So, anybody out there that's ever shipped a bike before knows the cheapest and easiest way. It definitely will fit in a TV box. So if it'll fit in a TV box, it'll ship. I think its widest point is down here at the electric motor part, and that is, that's a little more than 6 inches. That might be an issue. Definitely have to figure something out. Yeah, the width is going to be a problem, but it would be that type of thing where we may be able to bow the box a little bit and get it to widen up a little bit. But with a box that's 40 inches, 40 inches tall, we'll have some wiggle room this way. So I think it'll fit in there just fine. Worst thing that'll happen is in shipping, one of the little nubs on the end here of the axle poke through the box, but I think we're okay there. If we put an extra piece of cardboard on both sides, we should be okay. I can get it in a TV box. So it's just a matter of the cost of shipping it. Like I say, it's maybe about that long. Yeah, it'll fit in a TV box, no doubt. So anyway, with that, like, share, subscribe. Do leave me some comments if you've ever shipped a bike. I do need to know what you did when you shipped it. Did you, there's companies out there that do it, but the price to ship them is just unbelievably high. Like I said, it's one of those things where she's got to go in a box anyway to go in, either in the back of a car or in a UPS truck, what have you. So with that, make sure you like, share, subscribe. See you in the next video.